Warm-ups are done. Let's start this new week. All right, workout is done for the week. As you can tell, no voiceover during the exercises this week. Just felt like doing this a little bit different. We just finished week 7. As of today, 10 weeks out from the Rollywood Rumble, which is the competition that I'm gonna do to kind of knock the rust off of everything, get back on the platform. This week was more of a pivot week. Rep schemes kind of changed a little bit. Did about 1 less set per exercise each day this week, so volume was a little bit down. Wouldn't say this was kind of a deload week. It didn't feel like a deload week, so to speak, but I imagine it's part of the regulation to kind of keep your fatigue under control and the way it's designed. Some exercises we're going into some doubles, some triples. I even saw sets of 4, so it looks like the intensity piece will start to ramp up a little bit. But as I looked ahead a little bit, nothing looks too crazy. That has automatically been programmed, i.e. the weight is written for me. But you know, the RPE, if something is there, I'm gonna reach for it a little bit as we get closer and closer. I don't know what the next batch is, that peaking time period, so to speak, will look like, but that's past this current custom training cycle. And I don't know, I know I traditionally do well with adding singles in a little bit sooner than later. And it probably has a lot to do with I just don't handle heavy weights compared to other people. So I may start to put in some heavy singles or some singles, so to speak, on the squat and the deadlift somewhere coming soon. I haven't made up my mind on that. Half singles for the bench, I'm enjoying those. Those are giving me confidence, and you know, I may want to do the same thing. Maybe I'll just look at my top set for that day for a squat and deadlift, and maybe just bump it up 15% or something like that for that heavy single. I know for the deadlift it won't be anything crazy. For the squat, probably not too bad either, but I definitely need to hone that skill in a little bit more before I get on the platform. So definitely thinking about that. Also, still loving the back work. I feel my back getting bigger, or not necessarily bigger, but stronger every day. It's hard to tell when you carry the weight that I carry, how much muscle mass you are gaining. I am losing some weight, and I can definitely feel it in the clothes a little bit. And I know traditionally in the past it was a slow progress to see that weight recomp happen, and then it was like overnight. I just looked and saw it, and you know, I just know as I get stronger and start to develop a little bit more muscle, or reawaken those muscles, the fat loss will come a little bit quicker. And I'm really just trying to. I've hit some calorie numbers that are on the low side, and I'm trying to stay within those ranges. And when I do drop weight. But I'm trying not to go too low right now. I'm trying just to stay at the same calorie range and just do a little body recomp and not worry quite as much about the actual weight on the scale, even though I do like to see it go down. But right now, for this first meet, I'm gonna weigh what I weigh because I'm not gonna come close to going down a weight class by any stretch on this first meet, or even the meet in May, more than likely. But maybe in the future I'll go down one weight class, but that's about where I feel comfortable. Anyways, I definitely feel like my clothes are fitting better, and that's very good. It gives me a little bit more confidence in what I'm doing and that I'm on the right path. But going to next week, gonna start ramping it back up, add in those sets that were taken away, and I'll probably bump up some of the weights from this week, and in some cases I may just repeat the weights, just to know that that extra volume is gonna be there, so I might as well just take it a little slow. I'm in no rush to try and reach any weight goals as far as like strength goes. I have ideas in my head on what I could possibly do in October, but I don't care. I don't care. I just want to get 9 white lights. So if I set no PRs, which I probably will set meet PRs, just because I am definitely stronger now than the last time I lifted on the platform in at least the bench and the squat, and more than likely the deadlift. And that brings me to my next thing is I'm definitely going to stay committed to sumo deadlift through this meet prep and into the meets. But I may switch back to conventional. Just not knowing or feeling that the sumo is the right spot for my body type. Just looking when I'm in the bottom position, my back angle is pretty much the same angle that I set up in my conventional stance, and really the main reason why I switched to sumo is because I couldn't get in the same position that I wanted to get into conventional because of my gut. And today when I was setting up and doing barbell rows, I basically deadlift the row bar up, and I'm definitely feeling myself getting into that conventional stance better. So we'll just reevaluate that after the next meet if I switch back to conventional. If I don't see an advantage, I'm definitely going to talk to Hani about this, and on our next video conference call before we set it up, because that next training cycle should have my meet and after the meet in that same cycle. And if I'm gonna switch, I need to let him know so he can program accordingly. And based off the video, I'm gonna have him take a look and see if my leverages, if it even makes sense for me to stay sumo. So yeah, so that's the rack for the week. Looking forward to next week, still getting those games going, and I'll catch you guys next week.